I'm obsessed with like being in the same place as my friends and when we all get together, and it happens more than you'd think.
So I don't hang out with these people at all.
Bill was a part of her squad. I don't think she was.
I just heard that you're a member of Taylor Swift's girl posse.
Indeed.
What really happened to Taylor Swift's famous girl squad? For years, it was everywhere. Award shows, magazine covers, music videos, even July 4th parties that felt more like Hollywood blockbusters than backyard hangouts. It looked perfect, almost too perfect.
A lot of people who I think will relate to this song are people who are dealing with not ever really feeling cool with themselves because other people make them feel like they don't fit in.
But then, almost overnight, it was gone. No squad selfies, no group appearances, just silence. Fans were left confused, critics were quick to attack, and the media couldn't get enough of the downfall. So how did a group that once defined an era of squad goals turn into one of Taylor's most controversial chapters? Today, we're digging into the rise, the drama, and the truth behind Taylor Swift's Girl Squad, and why it all came crashing down. The rise of the Girl Squad. Back in 2014, Taylor Swift's image was in a tough place. The media loved to joke that she only wrote about her breakups. Every headline called her a serial dater. It was unfair, but it stuck. Taylor knew she needed to change the story, and that's when the idea of the Girl Squad started to form. The timing was perfect. Feminism had finally entered mainstream culture. People were talking more about women supporting women. It wasn't just a niche topic anymore, it was trending. Taylor saw the opportunity to reshape her public image. Instead of being known for her love life, she would be known for something much bigger. Powerful female friendships. So in 2014 and 2015, the squad came to life. It wasn't just a group of friends, it was a statement, a rebrand, a new chapter. Who was in the squad? That's where things got interesting. At first, it was a mix of Taylor's real-life, longtime friends, people she had known before fame. Abigail Anderson, her childhood best friend, was there from day one. She also had friends like Ashley Avignone, a stylist she met through Emma Stone. These people kept her grounded. They reminded her what life was like outside the spotlight. But that was only one part of the circle. Taylor also had famous friends she'd grown close to over the years. One of the biggest was Selena Gomez. Their friendship dated back to the Disney Channel days when both were dating Jonas Brothers. Even after messy breakups, Selena and Taylor stayed close. They were each other's plus ones at award shows. They constantly posted about each other. Fans loved it. It made the squad look real, not just for show. Then came the third layer. This is the part that made the squad explode in size and in fame. Taylor began recruiting new friends from the fashion and music world. It was like every cool girl in Hollywood wanted in. And Taylor opened the door wide. Suddenly, you saw Gigi Hadid, Karlie Kloss, Cara Delevingne, Lily Aldridge, and Martha Hunt hanging out with her. These weren't just friends, they were global supermodels. Add in singers like Haim and Ellie Goulding, and the squad became unstoppable. It was no longer just Taylor and a few close companions. It was an empire of influencers, performers, and trendsetters. The squad's public image was everywhere. They appeared in paparazzi photos at July 4th parties, backstage at concerts, even walking the red carpet together. Fans and media couldn't get enough. Hashtags like #SquadGoals started trending. Suddenly, the group wasn't just Taylor's support system. They became a cultural phenomenon. And that's exactly what Taylor wanted. The squad wasn't only about friendship, it was also smart branding. Every time the group was photographed, it told the world, Taylor Swift is no longer the lonely, heartbroken singer writing breakup songs. She's a leader. She's surrounded by strong, beautiful, successful women. It worked. For a while, the squad made Taylor look unstoppable. But like all powerful stories, the rise was only the beginning. The real question was, how long could it last before cracks started to show? The branding power. When Taylor's squad first showed up, people thought it was just about friendship. But it quickly became clear, it was bigger than that. The squad was not just a group of friends hanging out. It was part of Taylor's brand. Think about it. Every time they appeared in public, it made headlines. They weren't just going to dinner. They were making a statement. Red carpets, July 4th parties, birthday celebrations, everything was photographed and shared. The squad became a symbol of unity, glamour, and power. One of the biggest moments was the Bad Blood music video in 2015. That was peak squad. Taylor filled the video with her friends, models, actresses, singers. Everyone had their own fierce character name. It looked like a Hollywood action movie. Fans loved it. It broke YouTube records and won Video of the Year at the MTV VMAs. More importantly, it cemented the Girl Squad as a pop culture phenomenon. But Bad Blood wasn't just a music video, it was brand synergy. It turned Taylor's friendships into part of her art. Suddenly, being in her squad wasn't just about personal bonds, it was about being part of Taylor Swift Inc. The squad became another extension of her empire. And it didn't stop there. In 2015, Taylor and Karlie Kloss landed a joint Vogue cover. Normally, celebrities only appear on Vogue when they have a big project to promote. But this cover wasn't about a new album or a film, it was about friendship. The article focused on how close Taylor and Karlie were, how much fun they had together, and how Taylor's apartment walls were covered in Polaroids of her and her friends. It was unusual, but it worked. The cover turned friendship into a headline. It sent the message that being Taylor's friend was an accomplishment in itself. That's powerful branding. At the same time, Taylor tied the squad to feminism. She began speaking publicly about how important it was for women to support one another. She said her friendships were a reaction to how the media portrayed her, as boy-obsessed and defined by men. Now, she wanted to show a different image, one of women standing together, and people bought into it. Fans saw the squad as inspiring. They weren't just friends, they were role models. Girls everywhere started dreaming of having their own squad hashtags, like #SquadGoals exploded. Even magazines credited Taylor with popularizing the term. For a while, everything lined up perfectly. Taylor's personal brand shifted. Instead of being mocked for dating too much, she was praised for surrounding herself with strong women. The squad gave her a new kind of power, the power of image. But there was a catch. When a brand becomes too perfect, too polished, people start to question it. Was the squad really about friendship, or was it all a carefully staged PR move? That question would soon become the turning point. Criticism and controversy. At first, the Girl Squad looked unstoppable. Everywhere you turned, there were photos of Taylor and her friends. On stage, at award shows, and music videos, it seemed like the squad was everywhere. But soon the shine started to fade. What looked like a dream team began to face serious criticism. One of the biggest complaints was exclusivity. People noticed that most of the squad members looked the same. Tall, thin, mostly white, models made up a big part of the group. Fans and critics asked, if this was about feminism and empowerment, why didn't it include women of different shapes, sizes, or backgrounds? Demi Lovato spoke out and said she didn't see any normal bodies in the squad. Actress Rowan Blanchard also called it out, saying, true feminism is supposed to be inclusive, but this squad felt more like a private club. Even Lena Dunham, one of Taylor's friends, admitted that standing next to the models made her feel chubby. The message was confusing. On one hand, the squad promoted empowerment. On the other hand, it sent a signal that to be part of it, you had to look a certain way. What was meant to inspire some people ended up making others feel left out. Another issue was the false feminism argument. Critics said Taylor used feminism as a branding tool rather than a real cause. They pointed out that Taylor only spoke up when issues affected her directly. For example, she clapped back at sexist jokes about her dating life, but stayed quiet about larger issues like race or inequality in the industry. Actress Troyan Bellisario even said Taylor's version of feminism felt fake and selective. And then there was the Mean Girls criticism. The squad was supposed to be about friendship and support, but not everyone saw it that way. The Bad Blood video, which many believed was aimed at Katy Perry, made the squad look like a group of women ganging up on someone else. Instead of empowerment, it felt like public bullying. Demi Lovato even said the video wasn't about feminism at all, it was about tearing another woman down. The media jumped on these points. Suddenly, the squad wasn't being praised, it was being mocked. Saturday Night Live ran a parody sketch about it. Jokes started spreading online that Taylor's squad was more like a cult. What once seemed cool and aspirational now felt overexposed. The shift was quick. In 2014 and 2015, people dreamed of being in the squad. By 2016, people were rolling their eyes at it. What started as Taylor's greatest rebrand was now turning into a liability. The criticism hurt Taylor's image, but it didn't stop there. Soon, major drama would hit. Drama so big that it would shake the squad to its core and push many members to distance themselves. The fallout. If the criticism of the squad wasn't enough, the real trouble came when drama hit. And this wasn't small drama. It was the kind that made global headlines. Let's start with Katy Perry. For years, rumors swirled that Taylor and Katy weren't on good terms. The story was that Katy hired some of Taylor's backup dancers, and Taylor saw it as betrayal. Instead of letting it slide, Taylor poured her feelings into a song, Bad Blood. And then came the music video. The video was full of action scenes, celebrity cameos, and of course, Taylor's squad. Fans immediately connected the dots. They believed it was aimed straight at Katy Perry. Suddenly, what was supposed to be empowerment looked more like a personal attack dressed up in leather and special effects. Critics said the squad had turned into an army used to gang up on another woman. The feminist image didn't look so strong anymore. And then came the feud that really broke things: Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. The history between Taylor and Kanye went all the way back to the 2009 VMAs, when Kanye stormed the stage and interrupted her speech. For a while, it looked like they had moved past it. In fact, Taylor even presented Kanye with a big award years later. But in 2016, Kanye dropped the song Famous. It included the lyric, "I feel like me and Taylor might still have sex." "I made that girl famous," Taylor said she never approved the line. She even used her Grammy speech to defend herself, saying people would always try to take credit for her success. Fans applauded her. Then Kim Kardashian stepped in. She released clips of a phone call between Taylor and Kanye. In the call, Taylor seemed to approve parts of the lyric. Kim used it as proof that Taylor had lied. The internet exploded. Hashtags like #TaylorSwiftIsOverParty trended worldwide. People flooded her social media with snake emojis. The fallout was brutal. Taylor went from being America's sweetheart to public enemy #1. And when the public turned on her, the squad took a hit too. The whole idea of the squad depended on being photographed, celebrated, and admired. But now the attention was toxic. Some members started to distance themselves. Zendaya, who had appeared in the Bad Blood video, liked tweets saying she was never really part of the squad. Haley Steinfeld said people thought they spent more time together than they actually did. Even Karlie Kloss, once considered Taylor's closest friend, was seen out with Katy Perry and Scooter Braun, two people linked to Taylor's biggest controversies. The squad, which once looked like a fortress, now looked fragile. The brand had cracked, and once the cracks started to show, the whole thing fell apart. The disappearance of the squad. By 2017, the girl squad was fading fast. The red carpet moments, the Instagram selfies, the matching parties, they all started to disappear. It wasn't an accident. Taylor herself began to step out of the spotlight. After the Kanye and Kim fallout, she went almost completely silent for a year. No interviews, no appearances, no squad photos. And without Taylor at the center, the squad couldn't survive. Some members tried to downplay their involvement. Haley Steinfeld said she wasn't really part of the group the way people thought. Zendaya liked posts online saying she was never in it. Even Selena Gomez, who was one of Taylor's closest friends, admitted she often felt like she didn't fit in with the cool celebrity girls. Karlie Kloss, once thought to be Taylor's best friend, was seen having dinner with Katy Perry in 2018. Later, she was tied to Scooter Braun, the man who bought Taylor's master recordings, sparking another layer of tension. To fans, it looked like Karlie had switched sides. Whether true or not, the friendship never looked the same again. Meanwhile, others just moved on quietly. Models like Gigi Hadid, Martha Hunt, and Cara Delevingne were still friendly with Taylor, but not in a squad sense. Their own careers and lives took center stage. Without the constant group hangouts and photo ops, the public lost interest. The truth is, the squad couldn't exist without publicity. It lived through paparazzi photos, social media posts, and glamorous appearances. Once that fuel was gone, so was the squad. It didn't explode in one dramatic fight. It simply faded away piece by piece. By 2019, the squad era was over. Taylor's brand had shifted again. With her Reputation album, she leaned into a darker, edgier image. Gone were the fireworks, beach parties, and squad selfies. Instead, Taylor focused on her music, her career, and a much smaller circle of friends. But fans couldn't help asking, what really happened? Was the squad broken apart by the Kim and Kanye drama? Was it the criticism of exclusivity? Or did Taylor simply outgrow it? In reality, it was probably a mix of all three. The girl squad was lightning in a bottle. But as soon as the world turned against her, the squad went from #squad goals to a reminder of everything people disliked about her image. the timing couldn't have been worse. Her public image had moved on, and so had most of the members. What was once her biggest rebrand had become a closed chapter. But this wasn't the end of Taylor's friendships. It was just the end of the public spectacle. Behind the scenes, her circle was changing. And this time, it would look very different. Taylor's new inner circle. After the squad faded, Taylor didn't stop having friends. She just changed the way she handled them. The big public displays were over. No more giant group selfies or squad rollouts at award shows. Instead, Taylor began building a smaller, more private circle. Her friendship with Selena Gomez stayed strong. Through every high and low, Selena was one of the few who never really left her side. Fans often point to Selena as Taylor's real one. They've been through similar struggles and always defended each other, even when the internet tried to pit them against the world. Gigi Hadid also remained close. Their bond went deeper than red carpets and parties. Taylor supported Gigi during personal challenges, and Gigi was there for Taylor in return. Unlike the flashy squad days, their friendship became more private, but still meaningful. Then came the Haim sisters. Taylor bonded with the trio through music, and they became some of her closest collaborators. They weren't just friends in photos, they worked together on projects and supported each other creatively. This felt different, more natural, less staged. Over time, Taylor added new people to her circle too. Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds became family friends. Blake often appeared in behind-the-scenes stories, and Taylor even used the names of Blake and Ryan's kids in her songs. It was a friendship that felt genuine, not part of a PR strategy. Later, Taylor grew close to younger artists like Sabrina Carpenter and Gracie Abrams. These friendships weren't about boosting her image. They were about mentorship and connection. Taylor saw parts of her younger self in these rising stars and gave them advice and support. The difference between this circle and the old squad was clear. The new group wasn't a brand, it wasn't a hashtag. It was personal. Taylor no longer wanted to sell the image of perfect friendship. After the backlash of the squad, she learned that making it a spectacle only gave people something to attack. Now, her friendships happen mostly behind the scenes. Fans occasionally catch glimpses, like Taylor celebrating birthdays, attending weddings, or being spotted at a casual dinner. But these moments aren't broadcast with the same intensity as before. They're natural, not staged. This shift also gave Taylor more peace. She no longer had to defend her friendships or prove their authenticity to the public. She could focus on music, on growth, and on keeping her private life private. In many ways, Taylor's new inner circle is stronger because it's smaller. These aren't hundreds of people cycling in and out for headlines. They're a handful of people she can truly trust, and in Hollywood, that's rare. The Girl Squad era may have ended, but Taylor didn't lose her friends. She simply redefined what friendship meant to her. And in the end, that change may have saved her from repeating the same mistakes. Looking back, Taylor Swift's Girl Squad was more than just a friend group. It was a cultural moment. For a few years, it symbolized power, unity, and the idea of women standing together. But it also showed how quickly public opinion can turn. What started as hashtag squad goals became a target for criticism, with people calling it fake, exclusive, or even mean-spirited. Today, Taylor's friendships look different. They're smaller, quieter, and more personal. No hashtags, no branding, just real connections. And maybe that's the biggest lesson of all. Public friendships can create headlines, but private ones create peace. The real question is bigger than Taylor. Why do we celebrate groups of powerful men, like the Rat Pack or the Avengers cast, but tear down women when they do the same? Maybe the squad's rise and fall says more about society than it does about Taylor herself.